Today I'm going to show you the steps in creating a CSF agency portal account. CSF uses Salesforce to manage all of its data, so CSF partners will need user accounts in order to make submissions. And we're going to start by clicking Login in the upper right corner. Next, we're taken to a screen with a login prompt. Below the blue login banner, we have a link that reads Not a Member. We're going to click there. Once on the Create an Account page, fill in all the required fields. Upon completing all of the fields, pay special attention to the EIN. The following format must be followed in order to proceed. The first 2 digits followed by a dash. If you need a bit more clarity or an example, follow the instructions below the module. Once all of the information has been completed, proceed by pressing Create Account. Unless the email address provided has already been used to set up a CSF agency portal account, you should be greeted with a success message prompting you to check your email for password setup instructions. If I navigate to my Gmail, I can see I've received a new email from Salesforce that contains a link leading me to password setup. Follow the character guidelines to create a new password. Once you have your password, click Change Password. Once your password is created, you'll be logged into the CSF agency portal automatically. One important thing worth noting is upon second login, you will be required to connect your CSF agency portal account with the Salesforce Authenticator app. For some people, this can be a bit of a hassle, so we highly recommend getting this out of the way immediately. We'll start by clicking our name in the corner and logging out. Once logged out, use your email and newly created password to log back in, and you'll be met with a new screen. Here, we're being asked for a 2-word phrase to connect our CSF user account with our Salesforce Authenticator app. You can obtain the app on iPhone or Android. Start with the application open and click Add Account in the blue banner at the bottom of the page. You can see here that my 2-word phrase is Other Thumb, so I'll enter it here and click Connect. On my mobile device, I get a prompt to connect the accounts. Click Connect, and the account will be added. Once your agency portal account is connected to the Salesforce Authenticator app, you're automatically logged in. Each time you log in, you'll receive a prompt on your mobile device asking you to verify your identity before you log in. Now you have successfully created a CSF agency portal account. So next I'm going to run through the steps of creating a new proposal with CSF. You can see we start here on the proposal landing page, and as we scroll down we get a bit of information about the funding opportunity. But once we reach the bottom of the page, you can see we now have a couple of options. The first being to start a new proposal after we have read the above information. So I'm going to toggle Yes, I've read the above information, and you see a new button appear. Once I click Start New Letter of Intent, I'm instantly launched into the agency confirmation page. On this page, we are looking for any updates, any changes to your organization information, whether that be physical address, billing address, phone number, any changes. We welcome you to make them here. One thing worth noting about this page, we may already have your website information in our database, but we have a new format that requires https:// to be included at the front end of your link. So you may get a prompt to update that format. Just follow the instructions and you should be able to make it through okay. Another important feature of this page is the point of contact section, We're going to use all of this information to send notification emails to the provided email address. Additionally, you have the option to add a second email address to receive notification updates. So just make sure that these email addresses are different, and both email addresses will receive status updates on this proposal. So once all of that information is completed, we will click Next. So once you click Next, you're automatically launched into the LOI form. And you can see it's a very simple form with a bit of instruction at the top, letting you know that there are 3 tabs on this form, and you can navigate to each tab simply by clicking the tab name in the toolbar here. You may notice the red stop sign to the right of the tab name. That just lets you know that there are required fields on that page that have yet to be completed. And we do use a number of field types, such as free text and multiple choice. Now, just to reiterate, all fields on this form are required. So if I try to make a submission with incomplete fields, you see I get a bunch of red warnings preventing me from proceeding, as well as highlights on each field that remain incomplete. So although I don't have the ability to submit with incomplete fields, I do have the ability to save my progress to return to a later date. So let's just give our program a quick name here. And you see I have remaining fields. I am able to either click Save Progress at the bottom or top of the form. I'll receive a pop-up letting me know that my entries have been saved and I may exit and return when ready. So if I did need to return to my proposal at a later date, I simply start again at the proposal landing page. But when I reach the bottom, instead of starting a new proposal with the toggle here, I'll see a previous proposals list with my program there. And I'll enter the form by clicking the radio button next to the application ID. Once I do that, I am automatically launched into my proposal form, and you can see our previous value remains. So you are able to leave and return as needed. We do have a couple other quirks with this page. Free text field here to give you an example. We do have a character limit with an estimate of the number of words that character limit can provide. But as I begin typing, you can also see the character limit appears below the text box. And just as well, I have entered so much text that I now have a scroll box. If you would like to increase the size of the viewport here, simply click and drag from the right-hand corner of that text field, and you will be able to expand any of the text boxes to give you a bit more view. Some fields do have dynamic functionality. This multiple choice question, for example. As I make selections, you can see additional fields appear pertaining to each selection that I've made. You don't want to miss those because you will also get the red warning if you do not complete these fields here. So we're going to proceed forward in our LOI. A couple things worth noting. There are some dynamic fields on this page as well. Straightforward just as the others, but different text types. So for this question, if I were to select yes, it's worth noting that this is asking for a number. So if I enter text, I will get an error telling me this needs to be a numeric value. So that is also worth noting. Lastly, the final page of our LOI is requesting a signature that you may complete with a mouse or a pen on a touchscreen. So we're going to type our name here, and it takes a second to save. So as I type my signature, you see we get this little loading icon. You're going to want to let that save before submission, because if you don't and you submit, Salesforce will see this as a blank field and it will prompt you to do it again. On the flip, if you are unhappy with the way your signature looks, you can start over by clicking the refresh button here in the corner of the signature pad, and you can put in a new signature. You also have a submission date time field that is inaccessible. This field will automatically populate as you submit. So this will be our date and time, 7:42 a.m. 2/26/2025. Once you submit, you'll get a pop-up with some instruction on how to print and some next steps. However, if you click out of that instruction too quickly, it is also available here as a drop-down. So this page is essentially a summary of everything you just covered in the LOI. And this is for your printing records if you need. As well, this is where you'll return to check on the status of your proposal. You can see I've got a status indicator at the top here. Now, if I need to print this form for any reason, I'm going to use default Windows or Mac print functionality. So on Windows, we're going to use Control P. On Mac, we are going to use Command P. So as I press Control P, you see I get the print to PDF viewer here. And it's got everything on my page just slightly reshuffled to fit a little bit better. However, some of my text box here don't display everything I have to say in the field. So if I want to get all of that information in the print view, I'm going to cancel here, go down to those particular text fields that need more space and drag them down from here as well. Once I do that, that will also change the viewport on the print. So Control P again, and now you can see I can see everything that was in that text field, and I could print to my local printer. Once you click Finish at the bottom of the page, it will take you back to the proposal landing page where you can either start a new proposal or go back in to check on your program previously submitted. So if I click on that, it instantly takes me back to my application summary page. If there are updates or changes needed to this, you will have to request that from a CSF staff member.